What if I told you that there was a powerful rebranding hack that all of the top brand strategists use at the beginning of a rebrand, and it's one that you can use too? It's not only something you should do as part of a rebrand, but it's also an approach you can use to convince your coworkers, your boss, or your firm leadership that the timing is right to rebrand now. Oh wait, you didn't think I knew? Not everyone in your firm thinks doing the rebrand this year is a good idea? I know you want it now.
But I want it now!
I'm here to help. By the way, if you're stuck trying to figure out if this is the year you should rebrand, maybe you should watch this video first. Seriously, don't worry, I'll be here when you get back.
A few minutes later.
Rebranding your firm is a massive undertaking. So if there were something that could help you get a better idea of what you need to do at the beginning of the project, wouldn't you want to do that? Well, this powerful rebranding hack is called a brand audit, and it's a step you most certainly do not want to skip. At the end of this video, I'll share a link where you can download a checklist to get you started on your own brand audit. Sure, audit is a scary sounding word, but don't worry, this kind of audit can help you deliver some real intelligence to your process and set up your firm for a successful rebrand.
Sounds exhausting.
But where do you even start? What exactly should we be auditing? Where do we look for all of this information? And finally, what do you do with your brand audit once it's complete?
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Well, before we get to the answer of all of those questions, why should you perform a brand audit at all?
Why?
I've used this example for a long time, but if you go to the doctor and they operate on you before they diagnose you, it's called malpractice.
Run her through a stress test. If she has a heart attack, I'm right.
But too many times in design, marketing, and branding, creatives want to jump straight into making without first diagnosing the patient.
My memory is not what it used to be, but didn't we just rule that out 8 seconds ago?
You see, a brand audit isn't just about taking a look to see if we're using our old logo consistently. It's about understanding how the brand communicates and how it's perceived. But the bottom line as to why you should perform a brand audit is simple: math. Before you invest the time, money, and resources to rebrand, wouldn't you like to know if there's enough at stake to make the investment in the first place? How many deals might you be losing every month to a competitor with a stronger brand?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What would winning more of those deals be worth to your firm? And how many new clients would it take to justify the cost of a rebrand? I'll let you do the math.
You gotta carry the one, right?
Often the answer is just one new client. Okay, so this brand audit sounds valuable, but where do you start? Like I mentioned at the top of the video, I'll be sharing a link to a full list of topics you should be auditing at the end of the video. But first, you'll want to ask your team some potentially challenging internal positioning questions.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Like, who are we? How do we want to be positioned in the market? Do we have a recognizable brand voice? If so, what is that? How would you describe our culture? What are our brand guidelines? Where is there flexibility? And when is it important for us to be consistent?
We will ask the question.
It's essential to have the answers to these questions before you do the rest of the audit, so you know what you're supposed to be looking for.
I'm hunting rabbits.
In other words, if your firm was being accused of being a specialist in a particular industry, is there enough evidence to convict you? Or would they have to let you go free? Once you have a better idea which brand qualities you're looking for evidence of, it's time to start looking for clues.
Oh, a clue!
Oh, a clue.
A brand audit would be incomplete with both internal research, like chatting with firm principals, marketing department, and other employees of the firm, as well as external research, your public-facing marketing, your website, and social media platforms. I like to call the internal research the discovery, and the external research, well, it's just research. I'll tell you what to do with both of those parts in a minute, but before I do,
Wait for it.
hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single brand transforming tip in this series. So once it's time to flip that camera around to look from the inside out, where should you be looking?
Use your open eye, Frank. Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
The research phase is all about looking at things that literally anyone, your prospects, your potential employees, or the people in your network could see for themselves. It's all about how anyone in the world could learn more about your brand. So the first obvious place to look is the same place you might begin a search for anything else, Google. Be sure you're not logged in for this step.
Don't you ever Google yourself?
Sure, I Google myself all the time.
Take a close look at the first page and what comes up? How many of the results are your brand, and what do you see? I'd recommend taking a deeper dive into each of the links on the first page, and that's typically about 10 results. Hopefully one of those top results will be your website, which is the next place you should camp out in your research. What would someone who's never seen your website before think of your brand? Would it hold their attention? Who would they think that you are? What do you do? And why do you matter? What might they see as your specialties?
What would you say you do here?
Who does your website speak to? And of course, beyond your homepage, have a look at some of that deeper content until you're able to answer all of those questions. Take a look at your social media profiles. Do those help consistently tell visitors who you are, or do they present a slightly different story?
I have people skills.
But don't stop there. Take a minute to make a list of all the most visible potential touchpoints someone might have with your brand. Does your brand have other external touchpoints like speaking engagements, articles, books, or blogs that your team has produced? Do you publish videos to YouTube or other platforms? Are there any prominent news stories, articles, or press releases? How about reviews on employment websites? And what's the experience like when someone calls your office on the phone?
I'm not sorry I placed you on hold for 5 minutes. I was hoping you'd hang up.
If that seems like a lot, you're not wrong, but it's just the high points. If you'd like the full list, head over to boldbrand.com/resources, and there's a link near the bottom of the page to download the full list. I'll also have it in the comments below.
Yes.
Now there's one last step in your brand audit, but before I get there, if you're watching a video about rebranding, you're either thinking about hiring someone like me to help you out, or you're considering doing the work yourself. Well, I've got good news. I'm launching an exclusive Branding 101 course to teach you everything I know about rebranding in the AEC industry. If you'd like to see if you're a fit, schedule a free discovery call. Hit the link in the comments below. Now, it's not a fit for everyone, so find a time and we'll see if you qualify. So now that your discovery and research are done, what do you do with all of this audit information? Well, it's time to start assembling your findings in a document or deck, and that I like to call insights. So what did you find? Anything stand out or surprise you? Is there anything you need to fix, like right away?
I guess I forgot that you never ever make a mistake.
When you talked with your team, did everyone describe your firm in the exact same way? And is that consistent with how your marketing department might describe the firm? Does everything look like it's part of the same brand? Now, I'm a big advocate for brand unity over brand uniformity, meaning everything doesn't have to be identical. But when you line up your marketing pieces and your digital marketing, does it all look like it belongs? Or do you have a few oddballs? Now, completing your brand audit is a vital step in the rebranding process, but you're not done yet. Your next step in the branding process is to watch this video to help you leverage this unfair advantage in marketing your AEC firm. We'll see you over there.